Now more than ever, innovative technologies are fueling change and sparking new ways of thinking. Collaboration between corporations and startups is key to staying at the forefront of these trends. However, finding the right startups can be expensive, time-consuming, and ineffective. But Plug and Play is here to help. As a corporate partner, you will gain access to a whole ecosystem of innovation. Discover startups that meet your tech interests. Stay updated on the latest trends and network with industry peers. We will help you during every stage of your innovation journey, no matter where you are and where you want to go. Get in touch today.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Clarkson. I'm the Global Director of Sustainability at Plug and Play, and welcome to the first Alliance to End Plastic Waste São Paulo Expo. We can't wait for you to hear from these amazing startups and hear about some of the progress that they've had over the last 4 months with us, and to hear some incredible announcements in terms of partnerships and investments throughout the session. So before we get started, we just want to give you a quick overview about Plug and Play, our partnership with the Alliance to End Plastic Waste, and then actually give you a few trends that we've been seeing when it comes to the plastics value chain in the Latin America region. So for those of you who do not know, Plug and Play is a global innovation platform. We work across 38 locations around the world, across 18 different industry sectors, but we really have humble beginnings. So it all started here in Palo Alto with our CEO, Saeed Amidi's Persian rug store. He was selling Persian rugs on the first floor and is renting office space to interesting companies on the second. Some of the early companies to come through his door were ones such as Google, which you see here, which grew from 33 people to 30, and then also Logitech, PayPal, and Dropbox. Not only did he, rent office space to these startups, but he actually invested in them as well. And pretty easy to say, it worked out very well for him. He then continued on investing into more and more startups, and then 14 years ago, he officially started Plug and Play. So today, we work with over 500 organizations around the world. We run over 60 accelerator programs, such as the one with the Alliance to End Plastic Waste, and we are still heavily investing. Today, we invest in about 200 companies around the world per year. And these are companies that are very early, so more pre-seed and seed and some Series A. We have a very successful track record, so not only the first 4 that I mentioned earlier, but we have been investing in some pretty exciting companies that have now become unicorns. So such as Honey, N26, Lending Club, but also some new unicorns that were formed this year alone, such as the 7 that you see on your screen with Shippo, Fiscal Note, Flutterwave, and numerous others. So it's been a really good 2021 for us, and we can't wait to see which new unicorns emerge for the rest of this year. So Plug and Play has been growing very quickly. It all started in our Silicon Valley headquarters, and we now have 38 offices around the world, including this one in São Paulo, where we're running this accelerator program with the Alliance to End Plastic Waste to find new and exciting startups all throughout Latin America that are tackling plastic waste with new and innovative ideas. So a little bit about the Alliance. It's a global consortium of at least 50 companies from all around the world and all across the plastics supply chain that have contributed to this growing fund with the aims of ending plastic waste around the world. Part of this fund is set up to invest in new and innovative solutions and ideas that are going to help tackle the plastic waste issue that we're seeing all around the world. So not only has Plug and Play been running the End Plastic Waste Innovation Platform, but we have also launched programs in carbon neutrality and in sustainable fashion. And if you'd like more information about that, please feel free to reach out to myself or a member of our team, but we're more than happy to provide you some more information with that. But back to the End Plastic Waste platform. So we have been running programs all throughout 2020 and 2021. São Paulo is one of 6 hubs. So we've also been running programs in Silicon Valley, Paris, Shanghai, Singapore, Johannesburg. But today we're here to see this amazing startups that have come through the São Paulo program finally graduate. So how do we get here? So Plug and Play has been doing sourcing and scouting of startups from all around the world across different parts of the plastics value chain. So whether it be in collection, design, waste sorting, processing, and use markets for all that plastic waste, financial incentives for bringing plastic waste back, river pollution prevention, waste material exchange, and also two other ones that aren't shown here in reusables and in biomaterials. We also did a call for applications where startups from all around the world can apply to be part of this program. We did the filtering and presented the Alliance in our esteemed panel with the top 50 companies in the Latin American region that meet this criteria. From there, the panel narrowed it down to a top 20, which presented to our selection day, which then got narrowed down to a top 12, and that's what you're seeing here. So first off, I'd also like to say thank you so much for our panel for being part of this program with us and helping with the down selection of the top 50 down to the top 12 that you're going to be seeing today. So big shout out to the Alliance, Dow, Braskem, Veolia, Pepsi, Aspatec, and Milliken. We couldn't have done it without you, and we thank you so much again for your participation. So since our inception with the Alliance on Plastic Waste, we've seen tremendous success with the startups that have come through this programs. So far, we have accelerated 56 startups with 47 that are currently being accelerated in other programs. And we've seen over 100 pilots and POCs emerge. And we've helped those startups raise over $43 million in capital, whether it be from third-party investments, the Alliance members, grants, or even from plug and play. And these are just a handful of the public pilots and POCs that we've been seeing form, ones that have been dealing with waste collection, such as the Alliance and Literati in the Clean for Change global cleanup, or ones that are doing work in plastic waste traceability, such as with Circular, Total Energies, Recycle Technologies in Innovate UK. And one of the more recent ones, especially in Latin America, with Alliance, Paris, Batch 2 startup, Greenback, Nestle, Mexico, and Invol, which are doing some pretty interesting work. And we'll be sending some more information about that a little later today. And as you can see, Plug and Play is not only helping accelerate these startups, but we are very much putting our money where our mouth is. And we've been investing into these ones as well, such as companies like Circular, Gray Parrot, Literati, Biofusion, Repurpose, and Melozyme. So I wanted to wrap up with a few interesting trends that we've been seeing all around the world. So Plug and Play has been sourcing and scouting thousands and thousands of startups from all around the plastics value chain. And we've been able to break it down into this pretty comprehensive view on seeing where there's market saturation and also where there are key areas where VCs and corporates can play a key role in boosting up these parts of the value chain. So some of the emerging ones that we've been seeing that still need a bit of help, but are allowing the space as a whole to really move forward in getting to a true circular economy are in biological recycling, sometimes referred to as enzymatic breakdown of plastic, chemical recycling, design of plastic to make it easier to recycle, or additives to help it become easier to recycle, in material exchange and traceability, which is connecting waste collectors with the people who want to purchase waste material and tracking it through the value chain and through the process. And then lastly, in advanced waste sorting. So we're seeing these are very key areas where VCs, corporates, nonprofits, and startups can play a critical role in helping the entire value chain go to a much more circular version. So when it comes to Latin America, we've been seeing some pretty interesting trends. We've been seeing most amount of the startups are in biomaterials, collection, consumer behavior, or in mechanical recycling. We've seen a large uptick in startups that have been coming into the space ever since about 2016. As you can see in the graph on the right side, quite a lot of startups have been coming in, but we know there's still a lot of work to be done. So if you're interested in starting creating a startup or have a very new business model or technology, please feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to hear it and see how you can get involved with this program. On the bottom, you see these are the number of startups that have been able to proceed into different founding rounds. So small amount are still in bootstrapped and pre-seed. Quite a bit are in the seed, almost half the startups total that we have in the Latin America space, with some getting Series A and Series B investments. And that's one of the things Plug and Play is here to help. We're here to help move startups into those later stages by helping them get funding from different VCs, corporations, or grants from different nonprofits or governments all with the help of providing that catalytic capital to help these startups grow and get their new and innovative solutions out there to really benefit the entire world. I wanted to highlight a few of these key trends that we're seeing, especially in collection, consumer behavior, and mechanical recycling, because today you're going to hear a few different fireside chats with some of the startups on how their solutions are able to help boost those different parts of the value chain. So you'll be hearing ones that are working in technologies for better collection, ones for consumer behavior and better community engagement, and then lastly, ones that are doing improved innovations in circular economy, all to help really create a more effective and more sustainable plastics value chain. So that's all for me. Again, if you have any questions or if you'd like to get involved in plug and play or some of the different verticals that we have in our sustainability program, please feel free to reach out to myself or a member of our team, and we'd be more than happy to help figure out how you can get involved. So again, thank you everyone, and I'll pass it over to the Alliance and Plastic Waste VP of Partnerships, Nick Kolish. Take it away, Nick.
Good morning to our distinguished guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nick Kolish, Vice President of Projects at the Alliance to End Plastic Waste, and I'm delighted to join you for the Sao Paulo Expo, showcasing the outcomes of the End Plastic Waste Innovation Platform with Plug and Play. This global program spanning 5 continents has been a great success, enabling the Alliance to identify and connect with a huge group of innovators offering a multitude of solutions to address the issue of plastic waste entering the environment. Since the launch of the platform in 2019, we've assessed more than 3,000 startups, with more than 55 having graduated from the Plug and Play accelerator. Another 47 ventures are currently in the program, refining their business plans and building their networks. More than $43 million in capital have been invested and deployed into the startups thus far, and over 90 commercial pilots have started with Alliance member companies. Our partnership with Plug and Play demonstrates the value of collaboration, connecting the Alliance to startup communities around the world. Collaboration is the key enabler for the important work we do, as the plastic waste challenge is far too complex to tackle on our own. So we're pleased to welcome these ventures into our ecosystem of change makers as we develop, deploy, and scale solutions across the 4 strategic pillars of the Alliance. Building infrastructure for collecting, sorting, and recycling waste. Driving innovation to pioneer new approaches, technologies, and business models, enabling a circular economy for plastic. Promoting education and engagement to build public understanding and involvement with this issue. And supporting cleanups to address situations where waste has already leaked into the environment. We know that the global community of innovators and entrepreneurs are aware of both the challenges and the opportunities of addressing plastic waste in the environment, and are rising to the occasion with innovative ideas and creative approaches. We've been on the ground working with community leaders, problem solvers, and businesses to find real-world solutions. Every ecosystem is different, and so finding new ideas is critical to drive real solutions fast. One example of a startup working with our member companies in Sao Paulo is Dow and their Recycling for a Change initiative. Funded by Dow, Recycling for a Change enables the startup Boomera and the NGO Fundación Avina to bring improved training, equipment, administration, and professionalism to cooperatives and workers. Within months of launching the program in Brazil's largest source of waste, Sao Paulo, productivity climbed to 70%, sales increased by 50%, and average monthly salaries rose above minimum wage. Workers experience a new sense of dignity and pride in the role they play within the larger waste management chain. And armed with this new mindset, they view their job as a career with real social value. This just proves that ideas can come from anywhere to impact change. Another great success story is Oceanworks. Oceanworks is collaborating with Avient Corporation through the launch of several new post-consumer recycled and post-industrial recycled portfolios under the Resound brand name. Avient developed a PCR grade based on Oceanworks recycled ocean plastics. These grades are formulated for consumer applications and can then be used in personal care products, lawn and garden tools, outdoor goods, office supplies, footwear, and household durables. Not least, another success story is Circularize, a startup from our Paris hub that has already partnered with Covestro and Domo Chemicals. Circularize is developing a prototype that will set a standard for transparency within the plastics industry using blockchain technology. Each of these success stories has encouraged us to do even more, and it confirms the fact that collaboration is indeed key if solutions are to happen fast. For the chosen startups presenting in today's Expo Day, rest assured you will have access to world-class resources from the Alliance and Plug and Play. You will also have access to the experience and expertise of the many member companies representing a cross-section of the plastics value chain. I'm excited and look forward to hearing your innovative solutions and how they can address the global plastic problem. And I wish everyone all the best on their journey. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt and Nick, for those inspiring words. Hi, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank you for coming to Brazil Expo Day for the End Plastic Waste program. My name is Rebecca Yoshizato, and I am the program manager for sustainability vertical here in Brazil. In this event, you will meet 11 amazing startups who joined the Plug and Play Acceleration program and are driving innovation in Latin America to fight against plastic waste. Today, we will have 3 panel discussions formed by these startups. In each discussion, you will have the opportunity to meet their solutions and how they are innovating here in Latin America. In the end of each panel, we will launch a poll where you can choose which ones you would like to get connected with. So keep the track of the startups you like and enjoy the event. That said, I'd like to introduce the first panel of the day, Technology Applying the Waste Collection. Hi everyone, it's my pleasure to introduce you to the first panel of the day, Technology Applying the Waste Collection. For this conversation, we're going to have Felipe Cardoso from Ecopom Plus, Renan Vargas from Trashin, and Rodrigo Oliveira from Green Mining. The conversation will be moderated by Paulo Padula, Plug and Play Brazil Country Manager. Paulo, it's with you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Paulo Padula. I am a general manager for Plug and Play in Brazil. It's a pleasure to be with you today. And it's a pleasure also to be presenting our first panel about waste collection. So to be with us today, we're going to have 3 startups that are causing a major impact on that area. So I would like to welcome and to ask you guys to introduce yourself and to tell us a little bit about your solution and the impact that you can cause on the environment. So if you can start with you, Rodrigo, please on the stage.
Right, thank you very much, Paulo. Hello, everyone. My name is Rodrigo Oliveira. I'm CEO of Green Mining. Green Mining is a reverse logistics company with technology. We look toward our planet and see that we need to recover more material. That's why we developed a waste finder system to understand where the CPGs, post-consumer packaging, will be generated so we can have it more efficient collection and bring it back to the supply chain. So Green Mining helps the CPGs to recover their post-packaging material. We use technology and we do the best collection routes, so we guarantee it's efficient and it's worth the cost of the collection. And to finish with, we have everything traced by blockchain, and we hired ex-speakers to make that collection. So we are one of the first companies that have 100% labor compliance on the recycling chain. That's a little bit about Green Mining.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. And what about you, Felipe? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your solution?
Yes. My name is Felipe Cardoso. I'm CEO and founder of Ecopom Plus. Ecopom Plus is an innovative startup industry of contaminated plastic packaging recycling. And we have developed an unique and innovative production system composed of equipment and process patents that performs the decontamination recycling of lubricate packaging in an ecological way, without using any water, without waste generation, and with 30% less cost than the water process used by our competitors today. And more than that, all the residual oil is recovered and sold for the production of new oil eliminating the environmental risk. And the result is a recycled plastic raw material of excellent quality that we sell for the production of new oil bottle, 100% made of our recycled plastic, and with 10% cost reduction, thus creating a true circular economy. So we buy the packaging from environmental companies, logistics companies that collect it from gas stations, workshops, dealerships, carry out our process and sell the recovered oil to the oil industry and the recycled plastic to the packaging industry. And this is a disruptive technology of its kind in the world, already with a Green Innovation Charter granted, and with technical, environmental, economic, and financial feasibility proven. So we make it possible to recycle contaminated plastic packaging, and we do it in an ecological way, as I said, generating great social environmental results, such as billion liters of water preserved in the environment and tons of gas emission reduction, and produces a recycled plastic with excellent quality and value in the markets, generating economic and financial value. So our proposal since the beginning is to leave this legacy, giving the society this new concept and way of recycling and circular economy, which preserves the life of the planet and the people.
Very good. That's really remarkable. Thanks for sharing. I would like now to hear Renan, if you can introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your solution.
Of course, Paulo. My name is Renan Vargas. I'm Trashin co-founder, and Trashin is a company that works with waste management and reverse logistics. In the waste management, we're working with companies in the size of Parque Ibirapuera in São Paulo, for example, when you are caring about all the waste in the park and you are working in the whole process, signs the training, the instruction, the education, to the disposal, the collection, the whole process. You are working with Sicredi, SAP, and a lot of big companies in this field. And in the reverse logistics, we are responsible for the whole reverse logistics here in Brazil, about Havaianas flip-flop, with Tramontina and iFood, and a lot of big companies also in this field. So it's a pleasure to be here. And this is a bit about Trashin.
Very good, and thank you very much. My second question to you guys is that, well, of course, you are a very accomplished companies, otherwise you will never make it to the program. But I'm pretty sure that you learn a lot and you grew up a lot during the program. So I would like to ask you, which are your major accomplishments during the program? I mean, how did you feel that your companies grew in the last 3 months? So I will now start with you, Renan, just to inverse the order.
Yeah, we learned a lot in the beginning, and I think that's the main point. We learned from our competitors and partners. Green Mining and Ecopamplas are two kind of companies that you have learned about, and it's really, really nice. This opportunity to be together and to change ideas, it was really, really nice. And we can be with big companies, with propose, and we can share ideas. So it was really amazing, and we are thankful for the whole process and waiting for the new opportunities.
Very good. It's a very, very humble approach. I mean, congratulations for that, on recognizing the value that the others create. It's really, really not selfish at all. I'd like now to hear from Felipe, which was your experience.
To talk about what our company has accomplished in the last 3 months, it's important to say about our goal. Our first goal is to expand the solution in the Brazilian market to recycle more lubricate plastic packaging. We have already a production plant ready to operate, and our plan is to reach 6 production plants until 2026. So we implemented the granulation process coupled with the decontamination process with our own investment. Today, the Hortolândia plant is already a complete model where contaminated packaging enters and granulated resin comes out to manufacture of new bottles. And this model will be replicated to scale the solution. In addition to that, we have increased our number of partnership and customers during the program. It was very important, such as with waste collection companies and oil companies. We have an example here in this panel and program, our partnership with Rodrigo of Green Mining, which performs an efficient collection of oil containers using technology with transparency and traceability, causing social impact and making a real reverse logistics. In the same way, we guarantee the best economically, environmentally correct disposal option for green mining through our recycling with certification, traceability, and that complies with legislation without environmental risk. And on the other hand, the packaging and oil manufacturers get a recycled resin option to manufacture a new packaging with cost reduction, as the current options are the virgin resin and recycled resin available in the market with an inferior quality, which does not attend.
Great, it's very good to see that you guys are creating value to each other. I would like now to hear Rodrigo. You were mentioned twice, so I'd love to hear your perspective as well.
Well, Paulo, I think that the program was amazing, mainly because mentorships and connections. The mentorships that we had from all the guys that knows a lot of the marketing side, the financial parts, and all the plug and play amazing mentors give us a very good sight on how can we improve our business and how can we do it better, and we can communicate it better. On the connections, for sure, those connections between among the startups are amazing. Me and Felipe, we are all partners doing collection and recycling. So we love to be in many programs together. And I already know Trashin, Renan, and Sergio, also that we met a lot as well. But so the environment that Plug and Play and the alliance to end the plastic waste made is amazing. And when you have everyone with the same goal, so we're here to have better solutions on plastic. For sure, it's going to have many solutions. So it's very good to be part, and we're very honored to be here.
Great. No, that's amazing to see that you guys, you not only create a mutual and sustainable value for the society, but also to the members of the alliance, to each other, to the communities in a broader approach. So really inspiring to see what you guys have created. Here in the audience, we have many other players from the plastic ecosystem. So I'd like to ask you, how can the audience engage and connect with you to cause a broader impact on the sustainability subject? Which is the best way for them to connect, to influence, and to be in touch with you? I would like to start now with Felipe. Felipe, okay, if you can start the conversation.
Yes, we are very open to talk with companies of all sectors. We have two other goals. Our second goal is new applications for other types of plastic waste. We have already been successful tested plastic packages of vegetable oils and plastic buckets used in paints, cosmetics packaging. So we are very open to develop more applications for our technology with the same concept, without using any water, without generating waste, and increase the value of the plastic. And finally, the third objective is reach other countries through partnerships with waste collection companies, with plastic packaging and recycling industry, and also petrochemicals. We have made considerable progress in this program in validating our solution in several regions and contacts with major players. And our intention is to associate with these players to license the technology and install recycling units in their production units, providing quality recycled raw material for the manufacture of new packaging, reducing the raw material cost, and increasing the profit of all. So we are able to expand the solution through units with high production capacity installed in containers, taking up little space, which make it possible to be close to the generating sources and urban centers, facilitate logistics and scalability. They are modular units which can be made available decentralized or concentrated in a larger production plant according to the volume of each region. So we are very open to continue in those partnerships.
Thank you very much. And about green mining, Rodrigo, which are the next steps, and how do you see the audience engaging for further acceleration of your agenda?
We are here really to help CPGs accomplish their role. We usually say that the companies are the ones who makes the decision which kind of product and which kind of packaging they're gonna put in the market. If you're gonna put in a returnable packaging in a batch, or if they're gonna put a one-way packaging in the market. So once they decided for a one-way packaging, we are here to help them bring it back. And we love to explore different kind of market. Me and Felipe, together we worked on ink market, on the oil bottles market, and the oil from kitchen the kitchen oil bottles. So we work with beer, like on glass bottles, on paper. So many companies are like AB InBev, Unilever, AkzoNobel, Braskem, Natura, Boticario, and Starbucks are clients and partners that we help bring those materials back. We can do it for everyone, and we are ready to make it abroad to the whole world, because we understand that our solution is totally scalable when we turn it into be a platform where we can engage everyone to the recycling chain. And we can do it, it's possible, and we really would love to help partners from Plug and Play and from the Alliance to accomplish the role and to help them have more material on their supply chain.
Wow, that's awesome, super inspiring. Thanks for sharing your vision. And last but not the least, I'd like to hear the trashing perspective, Renan, if you can share with us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, all companies that have waste, you can be in contact with us, because you are working in 10 states in Brazil. It's a lot. You are working in the whole parts of the country with all kind of materials. So you are really wide about your solution. And about reverse logistics, we're open to talk about with companies that want to be the materials back in an open cycle or closed. So everyone can contact us about your website, trashing.com.br, or with social media. It's at Trashing Official. So it's a pleasure to be in contact also.
Wow, thanks very much, guys. That was an awesome session. I would like to thank you and show my appreciation for your journey. I mean, what you have achieved so far is really impressive, really remarkable. And we hope to hear some very good news from your company soon. But for now, thank you very much for participating in our program, for enriching our communities, and also to share your experience today with us. Thank you very much, and take care.
Thank you, Paulo. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you a lot.
Thanks for this amazing panel. Don't forget to select the startups you would like to get connected with.
How do you track your team's innovation efforts? However that is, we've got an easier way. Let us introduce Playbook. Playbook is Plug and Play's innovation software. It is an exclusive tool only available for our ecosystem's corporate partners. With it, you and your team will be able to browse your curated startups database, create, discover, and rate lists of startups, track your engagement, pilots, and investments, analyze data from the tech ecosystem, organize private sessions with select startups, and so much more. Hundreds of corporations count on Playbook to empower their innovation journey. Get in touch to start using Playbook today.
Hi everyone, hope you all have enjoyed our amazing first panel discussion. And to continue our event, I would like to call our second panel, Community Engagement with Recycling. Our guests for this panel are Alexandre Braz from Instituto Muda, Cláudia Pires from Soma, Felipe Rujas from HESCLAP, and Carla Chavez from eCoins. Paulo, hand over back to you.
All right, very good. So thank you again for being with us today. We are now jumping to our second panel of this afternoon. So we're going to be talking about community engagement with recycling. So I have now the privilege to be with these companies that are making this amazing work that is benefiting the environment, but also creating conditions for our communities to prosper and to grow and to thrive. So I would like to have the panel members to introduce themselves and also to talk a little bit about their solutions. So let's start with Cláudia. Cláudia, if you can tell us a little bit about yourself and also about your company, what kind of solution you're providing, please, on the stage.
Okay, thanks a lot, Paulo. So I'm Cláudia. I am the founder of Soma and now the CEO. The company was launched in 2015, so we are around like 6 years. Up to now, we are doing bootstrapping, and Soma is the first incentive program that uses technology and behavioral science to really change behaviors of people in practice. Where we're seeing, there is a lot of consciousness coming up, in the recent years regarding recycling, but there's a huge gap within consciousness and practicing action, real action. So using behavioral science and technology, it's enabling us to really change people's behavior and being able for them to practice it. And in order of that, they are keeping a new habit. And also with that, we are being able to expand it to other cities. So we first started in São Paulo. Now we are in the five major Brazilian cities: Curitiba, São Paulo, Rio, Salvador, and now going to Goiânia. And so we are being able to introduce the methodology and technology in these different cities. And then at the end of the year, we probably are going overseas. So we are taking Soma's methodology to another places beyond Latin America. So it's been a great journey. I came from the corporate sector, and knowing really the problem the corporate sector was having at that time, and being able to connect the private sector, waste pickers, the municipalities. So we have cooperations with all these municipalities, and mainly to bring the consumer, the citizens, to really take care or thinking about this solution or thinking about recycling in a different way. And I can say, I'm being proud of the journey that have been done over the next 6 years. So that's a little bit about what Soma is doing right now.
Thank you very much. And you definitely should be proud. It's an amazing journey. So let's jump now to Carla. Carla, if you want to introduce yourself and talk to us a little bit about your company as well.
Thank you, Paulo, and thank you, the rest of the panelists. For me, it's a pleasure to share with you today. Well, my name is Carla Chavez. I'm from Costa Rica. I'm the co-founder and CEO of eCoins. We founded in Costa Rica, thinking it was our journey. Costa Rica, even the name was different. The initial name was Ecolones, because it is our coin. So that tells you a lot, because in a very few months, we got a lot of questions and demanding from different countries. Everybody wants to know about what's Ecolones, and then we changed very suddenly to eCoins, thinking that it was an idea with a lot of potential, not just for Costa Rican people. And now we are in 5 countries, and we have only 3 years of operation. This is a currency. eCoins is the currency that rewards the commitment to recycling. So it's a very, very simple platform. We are hacking the linear economy. We are using the concept of the loyalty programs, and we create a loyalty program, but for sustainability. When consumers are the center. They start the reverse logistic process, taking their materials clean, dry, and separate to different places where there are the recyclers, the base recyclers, the companies that need that material because it's raw material, it's not waste. So we create this journey, very, very easy journey is separate, win, and redeem. It's a loyalty program. And now we have 95,000 people involved in those 4 countries, and we are going to start the 5th next week, which is Nicaragua. And we have 110 local governments involved, which means that we have achieved a great sense of community, and we got the commitment with a lot of different stakeholders in our sector. Companies, more than 200, 110 local governments, 95,000 families and people involved, and a program that is growing every day in interest and in participation. So we are learning a lot in this process, and of course, very, very happy to see how eCoins is going to create more value in Latin America, and after this program, maybe in other continents.
Very good, Carla. Super inspiring. Thanks for sharing. And what about Reciclap, Philip? If you want to talk about the company, introduce yourself.
Of course. Thank you, Paolo. Thanks, everybody present, all the panel member. Also would like to begin for thanking everybody present for the great work and the enriching experience of being part of this batch. So what is Reciclap? In simple terms, we compare ourselves to the Uber of recycling. We are an app that optimizes the recycling process. We connect urban waste pickers with people that wish to recycle from their homes through this app and help them manage their waste in Chile and soon in other places in Latin America. We are the largest recycling app in Latin America. We have over 50,000 users right now. We are covering over 50 cities in Chile, from north to south, bringing recycling for free throughout the country. And we have recovered over 80,000 tons of waste. So that's what we do in Reciclap. We are in the mission to bring recycling to residents for free through technology.
Thank you, Felipe. Thank you very much. And Alexandre, and last but not the least, you can tell us about a little bit about Instituto Muda. I think you're mute.
Hello, sorry.
No problem.
It's a pleasure to be with you guys today. My name is Alexandre. I'm the founder and CEO of Instituto Muda. I founded Instituto Muda in 2009. And basically, Brazil, like São Paulo, recycle only 3%. And we have a lot of buildings here. We have more than 30,000 buildings only in São Paulo. And 80% of the waste is generated in buildings. And in the City Hall, offer a little bit recycling for the buildings. And we create a solution to bring recycling to the people, to make this process more clear and more easy. So we implement the recycling in the buildings. We make a project, we install the containers, we give the training to the residents, to the employees. After we collect this recycled material with our own trucks and people, and bring and take to the low-income cooperatives. We have more than 30,000 homeless in the street, and big part of them work in cooperatives or like selling this recycled material. So we help them like this, donating the recycled material. And we create, like we have the national solid waste policy. They obliges the companies to implement the reverse logistics. And we create a program called Adopt a Building. So we connect the building with the companies. The building wants to recycle, but they don't have all the money to implement. So the companies sponsor the containers and the engagement, and the building pays only the collection. So we donate the recycled material, and after we gave to these companies the reverse logistic credits. So we help the buildings, we help the low-income cooperatives, and we help the big companies to attend the policy. So Instituto Muda, in like 12 years, we the implementation is in more than 700 buildings. More than 208,000 people are trained and aware. More than $5 million donate to low-income cooperatives, and more than 50,000 tons of recycled waste was donated to these cooperatives. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, I was wondering, we as a society are super lucky that you guys decide to invest your time and your brains in creating such a wonderful solutions like the ones you just shared. Really, really inspiring. So, guys, for the second question, we would like to, well, as I said before, you are already remarkable companies, but I would like you to comment a little bit about your achievements on the past 3 months during your stay in the program. So if you want to see how do you feel that you evolved and what you achieved during the last 3 months, it will be great. I will not set an order. Feel free to jump in if you want to start.
Maybe I will.
Good, thank you.
Okay, during this process, it's been amazing to know other entrepreneurs, of course, to strengthen the relationship with the ecosystem in Latin America, the companies and the entrepreneurs that everybody we are like struggling with the same problems and trying to solve. Okay, we have like very, very similar purposes in our companies, and we are depending on the city or the resources we have created the best we can. And it's been amazing, all the workshops and these sharing time with all the companies has been great for us. But especially, we have been able to prove like an hypothesis. I don't know if it's the right word in English, but like we have this hypothesis that eCoins is not just the program. eCoins is a tool that can be used around the world, no matter which city, which material, which is the infrastructure, the maturity you have in this market. eCoins is a tool you can use everywhere, and we don't want to be, or we don't need to be the face of the program. It's not needed to, launch eCoins in Thailand, for example. But in Thailand, if you have a good program in operation, you can use eCoins as a tool, and you can reward your people with eCoins and take them to be like in the habit, like make them involved in a day-to-day, very easy way to get involved with recycling. And eCoins can be a tool. It doesn't matter where, in which like level of your company, program, entrepreneur. If you don't have the coin, if you don't have the incentive, we are ready to share this with all the companies around the world. So we proved that during these 3 months that, and I'm saying that because with one country in Europe, we have been talking very, very serious to introduce eCoins in their system as the way to create the incentive. So it's been very, very useful for us to taste that during this process and to, of course, get in touch with many different entrepreneurs that in other way, it's going to be very difficult to connect with so many people.
Thank you very much, Carla. If you guys want to build on Carla's answer.
Of course, I'd like to add up on something Carla mentioned. As entrepreneurs, we're all in very similar situations. So I feel like we've all grown in a very same path. And there's a few things that for us in Basic Lab, Plug and Play has crucial. This has been in mentorship, corporate introduction, and networking. So these 3 things have been amazing for us. In mentorship, for example, we had a meeting about team management. since we're soon going to launch our app in Mexico, Aguascalientes, Puebla, Querétaro, León, Guadalajara, amongst other, we had this task of finding the best way to have our team in another country. So the mentorship related to team management was crucial to take some really important decisions for this very big step. Corporate introduction was another point that I mentioned, which has been very, very important for us. This networking with potential commercial alliances are key in our growth, in our expansion. And finally, networking with the people in the batch has also been very good. We've met people from Mexico and other countries we wish to expand in South America that gave us input of their culture, of their country, of places that are maybe better to tackle before others. And all this retroalimentation of information is great to take this next steps. So I would highlight those three things that have been very important for us in the 3 months of the batch.
Very good. Thank you, Felipe.
So I really enjoyed all the panels. I watched it. It added a lot. And I really enjoy knowing like that I'm not the only crazy guy trying to help the world have less garbage. So it's very important, the motivation, you know, to keep on. And knowing so many legal initiatives around the world, we made connections with a lot of large companies with the possibilities for partnerships and even investments. And the end, be inspired other initiatives.
Yeah, I don't think there is much to add on that. But anyways, I think one thing really impressed me by Plug and Play was the quality of the mentorship. I've been through a lot of, since I am a solo founder, and I'm always looking for accelerations, to make sure that other people are kind of doing, the fingers on my nose saying, are you crazy or not? Or are you going to the right path? So I've been tasting a lot of those, and what really impressed me in Plug and Play was the quality of the mentors. So I had the possibility to have some mentorship, and I mean the quality of the guys and the way that they were truly want to know your business, to help you. There was not that kind of mentorship that people say, okay, I'm there to be a mentor, to say I'm mentoring a startup, because it's like a cool thing to do right now. And I really found that, the mentors that I had the chance to talk to, they were truly trying to understand what we're doing. They were truly trying to guide us in their knowledge, how to do things that most of the time, I mean, we are kind of like, shall I go there? Shall I go here? So, what was the way? Mainly, I mean, when we do not have, investors or things like that. So it was pretty amazing. I mean, the workshops, the guys have already told it, but if I have to, really pick one thing that amazed me and truly amazed me was the quality of the mentorship. And for sure, I mean, since we are going overseas, we were asking to be connected with other places. And then, I mean, was right here, just telling Rebecca, can I be connected with blah, blah, blah? I mean, 2 days later, she was like, boom, I'm connected with the other side of the world. So this amazing, worldwide connection, it's very impressive. So you guys are very, very talented on doing that. And for sure, as Alexandre was said, I mean, it's always good to see, I mean, when they decide to change my career 10 years ago, to change from marketing to go to sustainability, I was the crazy one. And then people were saying, are you gonna, embrace trees? So it was a kind of, like downsize of career. And then it's incredible when you are in panels like this, you see, so many wonderful, professionals. They were truly trying to change things and also to see the corporate side, because I mean 10 years ago it was kind of, oh, it is so nice, oh, she's special, look how nice she's doing things. And now, I mean, it's in another level. People are much more professional, and they are truly trying to see how we can together, because I mean, there is no one solution for sure. I mean, this problem is huge, and it's huge all over the world. And I think, I mean, there is not a bulletproof. So it's a combination of solutions that truly will make a difference to tackle, you know, the waste that you are being dealing, not just in Brazil, but in Chile, in Costa Rica, in Thailand, in many places. Maybe just Japan, it's fine in this, but the rest of the world, I mean, really, we need, you know, to really get together and see, you know, how we can do the solution. That is not just one people. So you guys engaging, you know, the different stakeholders and different startups on that, I think it's a pretty neat way, you know, an intelligent way to tackle the problem.
Well, thank you very much for the kind words, guys. It's good to see that we are helping you to unleash the power of the communities. I mean, the ecosystem that we have. And my next question is about it, by the way. I would just like to see how do you believe that governments and communities could engage with you to cause a broader impact? Which collaborations did you see that would be possible in that sense?
Well, for us, the experience has been amazing working with governments, local governments especially, and the community, putting them all together. And I think the key is to make the things very easy for them, or make the things show very easy, because they're not easy, but just we know how to do it, you know, background. But for the people, the journey should be very, very easy. It's a nice travel, a very easy way to get involved in your home with separation in the source and where to take it. And there's a place easy to get, you know, in the map. With Google Map, you can get very easy, or with Waze. Using all this technology we have created for, again, linear economy and the consumption we are used to, use all that tools for sustainability and solutions. And it's like a change of perspective, which is very, very hard work. It's not easy at all, but for people, it needs to be very easy to understand with simple words. You know, the words we have been using for 3 years, clean, dry, and separate. Clean, dry, and separate, it's like obvious, but nobody uses it in that way. It's okay, clean, dry, and separate is a mandate, it's a command. No, there's no way that the material can be received if it's not clean, dry, and separate. So that helps people a lot. It's like real basic education, but people love that, because, you know, our world is very complicated. We have a lot of tasks to solve. Now with the COVID things, the economical challenges, so make things easy for people. Clean, dry, and separate. And here is the map, here is the place. There's no way to get lost in the process. And for municipalities and government, the same principle. It's like, okay, you have the law. In Costa Rica, for example, we have an 11 years old law, very strange and good law, but nobody knows it because government is terrible at communication. Usually governments are not prepared and specialized in communicate with people in the light part. You know, it's always like the punishment and the tax and do not, but not in the yes side, not in the it's possible to do it, not in the easy. The brands are specialized in the easy way and the color and the sexy part, and recycling is the less sexy things in the world. And we have to change the perspective and make it nice, like colorful and joyful, and with the incentive, you know, with the endorphins. We need endorphins in our brain, and that's what we are doing with eCoins, with the rewarding ching ching, hey, you win, great. you're great, you're doing great for the planet, and at the same time, you're winning points for your cinema, your sushi, or your dog grooming. And it's great, it's part of your life. So for us, the key for the future, if we want, I think there's two things. Simple, make it simple, like, you know, the kiss. Keep it simple, sweetheart. And show that it's possible. Okay, I already did, so you can do it too. And the second thing is connect between each other, because we have, I don't know, 50 different types kind of waste. There's not just plastic, there's paper, cardboard, aluminum. E-waste is a big problem. Tires, textiles, medicines, oils. So there's many different industries. And if we start over every time, the time is running out. We are running out of time. So we have to connect all the industries with the same solutions. Very easy, is one way, is one journey, and it's more efficient. And of course, it's simple to grow and scale and to get in the place at least we need to get until it's not time enough, you know, for save this wonderful planet.
That's super meaningful. Thank you, Carla. If you guys want to add something on how do you see that community and government could be more engaged with your solutions?
Perfect.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, after you, Claudia.
Go, Claudia, please.
I pretty much agree with Carla. I think that it has been, you know, like loss and the rest, and then companies and the rest. So there is a very, I think there's room to improve, you know, the conversation within these different stakeholders. So that's something that we're being able to do that at SOMA. So we are really engaging and see, I mean, who is part. I mean, Salvador now, we became, you know, under the mayor, you know, strategy for the city. So connecting, you know, the data that we have, because we do have a lot of data showing that is good for the planet or good for your community, but it's good for yourself. And then showing also, I mean, that what you're doing really has a transparency and a traceable way of doing things. So when people know the data, when they know that their behavior can do the change, it's very powerful. On the other side, when we share data with the municipalities, at least here back in Brazil, I mean, there is very, or I'm not saying no one, but there's very few, you know, municipalities that they take decisions based on data. And I think we are getting on the trend. No, we are getting on a time that's no more way of you just deciding things for your city, for your country, not having, you know, transparent data based on. So when we show the municipalities the data, they pretty much understand, I mean, there is a way that I can have and use and have better decisions on my public policies. So that's also what we're trying to do. I'm not saying that it's quite easy, because I mean there is a huge gap within, you know, conversation when you talk about corporations and municipalities. But at least we are trying, you know, to see a point of interest that we can connect everyone, and from there, I mean, they can see the change that they can together do. Again, I mean, there is not a solution that one municipality, one government, one politics, one startup, it's going to solve everything. So we really have, you know, to how would I say? I mean, to bridge the bridges. So for being able, you know, to really get, you know, the 23rd goals that all of us are dreaming of.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Thank you very much, Claudia. Let's hand over to Felipe, the gentleman.
Thank you. So, well, as for Chile, the turning point and game changer was the EPR law in Chile and in Brazil, obviously. And demand brands take action of what they produce, right? So this is very interesting, and it's something that we'll start applying in other countries as well. This law is being implemented promptly in Mexico, then Colombia, Peru, and so on. But this opens up space to create collaboration and alliances between brands, between governments, and communities. So when it comes to communities, something that's very important, and understanding the culture we live in South America, it is always very important to create culture and education. So that's something we're working really hard on in Reciclab, promoting social environmental campaigns, and not only promoting them, right, and speaking about them in a very attractive way, but doing the work of facilitating the recycling process, incentivizing the recycling, and managing it. And that's where there's space to create collaboration between brands, communities, and governments, and understanding this is a problem we're all involved in, and the solution only comes with collaboration and co-creation. Thank you.
Well, no, that's great. Alexandre, any topics, any comment from your side?
Yeah, for sure. We are able to engage because we do a very detailed implementation process. I always say that 95% of the people who hire us say it won't work. Always, like today, like the recycling infrastructure available in the market for several reasons does not motivation the people to recycle. Even for the structure, lack of information, lack of logistics. Like Carla commented, like you have to facilitate the process and generate cost benefits for people. It's not using motivation people to recycle if you don't have like a container. It's not using like a container environmental education if you don't have like a truck to collect. So we offer the complete solution and to recycle in the fact, like not only the blah, blah, blah. And in our way to see is like this, you have to make things easier and with a cost benefit, like the people pay a cost, but they see the results, where is going this recycled material, like who is impacted. So I think it's like this, we engage a lot of people, and at the end of process, more than 90% of people participate of our process. And I said to the people who hire us, you see, it's work. You have to believe in the people, but you have to give a structure. No, not only believe and talk. You give a structure, a good collection, and people want to make the difference, want to recycle, and more or less this. Thank you.
Thank you. No, it's a very, very great, inspiring panel. I would like to thank you guys. I mean, not only for your presence today, but for everything that you achieved during your journeys as founders. We always congratulate founders because it's for the brave, it's not for the faint of heart. But especially in your case, that you're causing a major impact on the society, on the community, I really want to show our appreciation to you. It was a real good pleasure to have you guys, not only in our program, but as assistants. It's very good to know that people like you, crazy guys, like you said, is working to create a better world. So thank you very much for your participation today, and congrats for everything that you achieved. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for this amazing panel. Don't forget to select the startups you would like to get connected with. Hi guys, thank you for this amazing second panel. And to finish our event, I would like to call our third panel of the day, Circular Economy Innovation. The conversation will be between Brian Bauer from Algamo, Julio Compagnon from Atando Cabos, Leticia Flores from Adico, and Ricardo Terrazas from Wasco. Paulo, hand over back to you.
Okay, all right. So we're here for our third panel of today. We're receiving now the last group of entrepreneurs that have been with us during the program. We'll be talking now about circular economy innovation. So in order to do that, I'd like to welcome our panelists, to thank you very much for being with us today. And I'd like you guys to quickly introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your companies and the kind of solutions you have developed. So I can start with Leticia. If you can share a little bit of you and your company with us.
Yes, sure. Thank you very much, Pablo. Well, our company is Adico, and we develop additives to enable or to help to the circular economy of plastics. So the main idea is that the plastics industry produces a lot of waste, and most of this waste ends up in landfills. And we think that these plastics can be reused. So our strategy is to develop multifunctional additives that can compatibilize these different polymers that are present, for example, in flexible packaging, where you have different layers of plastics that are not miscible between them. So the idea is to make a new compound, a new material that's compatible with good mechanical properties so that you can reuse it in new applications, in injection molded parts or in film applications, depending on the specific residue you are compounding. But our proposal is not to throw that away because that's valuable material that can be reused, but instead to reformulate it and use it again.
Very good, Leticia. Thank you very much for sharing. I would like now to invite Julio, if you can share a little bit with us.
Yes, thank you, Paulo, for this invitation. Well, I'm Julio Compagnon. I'm a co-founder of Atando Cabos. We are a clean tech company that develop collaborative technological solutions to turn massive plastic waste into new resources in the form of pellets or finished goods manufactured with this recycled plastics. By doing this, we not only solve this environmental problem, but also we deliver solutions for global companies in need for materials they require to comply with corporate goals and regulatory standards. Well, we've been growing a lot this year. We're very happy. We think that what we're doing is circular economy 2.0. That's about what we do.
Very good. Thanks for sharing your journey and congrats for the achievement. I will now hand over to Ricardo. Ricardo, if you can introduce yourself and your company.
Hello, Paulo. Thank you very much. Well, I'm with Wasco, Worldwide Accountability Solutions Company. And what we mainly do is we develop technology-based, plastic technology-based solutions with high society and environmental impact. We mainly transform plastic waste into new polymer compounds that can be applied in structural or non-structural construction materials. So far, we have developed materials such as ecological concrete, ecological blocks, which are part of the structural part of a building. But we also have developed things such as contact frameworks made out of our polymer compounds and plastic wood towers, which would otherwise be utilized as wood. And it's one thing we're trying to change nowadays, and that's what we basically do.
Wow, that's super nice. And what about you, Brian?
Sure. First off, thank you so much to Plug and Play and the Alliance to End Plastic Waste for inviting Algamo to be part of this amazing program. So with that, my name is Brian Bauer. I lead circular economy and institutional partnerships at Algamo. And what Algamo does is we work with global brands. We're currently working with Unilever, Nestle, Colgate, and in conversations with many others, so they can sell their product and not the packaging. So we create smart dispensers that are connected to the Internet of Things. We have an app that connects with our smart dispensers, and then we have something that we call packaging as a wallet. So we integrate RFID or NFC technology into our packaging so the packaging can communicate with IoT connected vending machines and enable a reuse system where people can reuse the same packaging over and over and over so we can keep packaging in the economy and out of the environment, creating value for the end consumer by lowering the product cost, making it really convenient and simple, and keeping plastic out of the environment.
Wow, that's a brave new word. That's very, very inspiring. Thanks for sharing. Very good, guys. Thanks for introducing yourself. Thanks for introducing your companies. My next question is an open question for you guys to discuss and to give your individual opinions. Is about, I mean, you are all remarkable companies, but during the last 3 months, you were able to be exposed to some interventions. And I would like to ask you, what do you feel that changed for you as founders, for your companies, in the last 3 months when being part of the program with the Alliance to End Plastic Waste?
Okay. Well, I'll start.
Sure.
Well, we began our journey in Atando Cabos collecting discarded fishing gear from the fish farms in Patagonia. But today we are collecting and recycling plastics from mining operations in the deserts, construction companies in our cities, from farms in the countryside, and using all these materials to produce crates, pallets, housewares, construction materials, among other high quality and high volume products. Throughout the program, we realized that we could expand the model that began in the Patagonia all through the country in different industries. And also we realized that our business model was viable globally. And now we are very happy to be planning our expansions to Europe and North America. So it's been wide opening for us. It's an eye-opening, I mean, for our company to see that we had a solution that could scale globally.
Well, for us, over the past few months, while working with Plug and Play, other than helping us with sort of international planification and a way to expand our business to one of the main plastic industries in the world, which is Brazil, and obviously knowing that if it's one of the greatest plastic industries in the world, it's also going to be one of the more large producers of plastic, which is sort of one of our raw materials for the products we produce, and also thanking them for the connections that they have provided us over the past time. For example, we're in talks to see how we can work in relation with ExxonMobil in Brazil, and to be able to, I mean, to grow as a company not only in Brazil but help all the South America, all that continent, knowing that it's a huge problem, the one we face, which is plastic pollution and environmental contamination. And thanks to Plug and Play, we have a chance to get involved more directly and sort of an easier entrance into those types of markets in that continent.
I can go next. So one thing I'd like to say that was really useful with Plug and Play and we greatly appreciate is we basically started the accelerator program with Plug and Play right as we were kind of getting close to closing an investment round. And Plug and Play was actually able to get us $500,000 in investment. Went from the first call to money in the bank in about 3 weeks, the fastest I've ever seen that happen. So that was absolutely amazing and greatly appreciated. As well, they've been exceptional at connecting us to key players across the plastics value chain, anyone from PepsiCo and very high up global innovation people within that organization, so we can have conversations about potential projects we can develop in the future, to Dow Chemical. We've had some really interesting conversations with Dow Chemical on they've got a new type of packaging that's flexible, reusable packaging, and we're interested in exploring how we can potentially use that for reusable packaging on the B2B side. And then just connecting with some of the other startups, like as an example, Atando Cabos. I really like their model. I see it as a very impactful, very impressive model. And I was recently speaking to one of the largest, probably the largest refill reuse company on the planet, who's currently operational in 5 or 6 different countries. And what they're doing is they're taking recycled plastic and making shopping bags in like grocery carts or grocery handheld carts for the store. And I recommended to the CEO of that company that they have a conversation with the Untitled Chapter, since they're expanding into new markets, and being a part of this accelerator program and getting to know that is a great way to kind of work with each other and help each other out to raise the circular economy across different systems and different business models. So that's my summary.
So finally, and yes, I agree with Brian. Networking is great. The program has been, also great in putting together startups and huge companies so that we understand what they really need instead of guessing. These reverse pitches are great because they let us know which are their pains so that we can see if our solutions really make sense or not so much. And also something additionally is that we have been able to improve our pitch and our deck. And that's, thanks to all the seminars that we have received, that make us, focus mostly on our proposals and contrasting our proposal with what's now available in the market. So yes, in terms of learning, Plug and Play, has also been a great opportunity to grow. So we're very thankful. In the specific case of Adico, we have explored, the different recycled streams. Now that we see the relevance of these materials, for example, we have explored a multi-layer consisting of PET, PE, EVOH. That's a very common multi-layer system found around the world. Also, the fishing gears in Mexico are more complex, as we have learned from Atando Cabos. So it seems that in Mexico, we have a more complex system that required a set of additives, but now we're almost finishing the development for that specific additive. Also, there's recycled carpet. That's something additional that we didn't know. That was a huge volume that needs to be recycled. And now we have also an additive for that system. So we have grown more in terms of these systems that need to be recycled. And yes, finally, we have signed 2 NDAs and we have 5 active conversations with huge companies that we hope they transform into new business or new relations at least. Thank you.
Thank you, Leticia. Thank you, guys. I mean, it's very rewarding to see that you guys are really leveraging the ecosystem. I mean, not only connecting to venture capital, but also to mentor to corporation, but even leveraging collaboration between yourselves. So it's good. It's really, really good to see that the program was able to deliver that level of maturity and collaboration. And talking about the agents that we have in the ecosystem, I would like to hear from you guys. How do you believe that government and community could engage to help scale your solutions even further? Feel free to start, but let's ask first, I don't know, Ricardo, if you can jump in for the first answer.
Yes, Paulo. Well, mainly the way society and governments can get involved with us is right now we're doing the venture capital. We're looking to expand into, as we mentioned earlier, into Brazil, but we need a production plant over there because it's really expensive to ship all the products from Mexico. And the goal right now is to recycle the plastic waste that is in Brazil and then commercialize our products in Brazil, but utilize the waste from Brazil and recycle from that part. And so the main way society and government or any person that might want to help, right now we're looking for venture capital, we're looking for investments, or other way they can get involved is if they know someone, they have a company which produces some type of plastic waste, mineral waste that they think they might be able to help us in the development of our products. That would be of great help. Or anyone that might think they might have a connection or that they have a connection to a larger company that can help us establish in a more solid way in the market and help us grow and grow in a country such as Brazil. That would be greatly appreciated and of great value.
Thank you, Ricardo. What about you, Brian? Do you see that a community and government can engage with you to expand your footprint and your impact?
Yeah, I guess one thing at the community level, one thing we need to do is people to change their behavior. So single-use systems where you just buy a product, use it, and then recycle or throw away the packaging is very simple, convenient, and often cheap. So what we need people to do is change and think differently about packaging so that they actually get a reusable packaging, use it, refill it, use it, refill it, use it, refill it, and then eliminate the need for single-use packaging in the process. That's what society can do. And what government can do is change policies so that policies are enable and promote and make it easy for circular consumption of products instead of complicated or impossible. As an example, here in Chile, we have a law that says you cannot refill shampoo, body wash, or soaps, personal care products. But in many parts of the world, you can do that. And it's been proven that there's no complex risks or anything associated with doing that type of refill system. So policymakers can enable solutions like El Gramo to happen by changing policy so that it enables the business model to happen. And we're currently working and doing a big campaign actually in next week to promote that idea. And we're bringing a bunch of stakeholders across government and across the plastics value chain, bringing about 300 or 400 people together to promote that idea of getting Chile to open up refill for personal care products. But great question, thank you.
Oh, thanks for answering. Thanks for the candidness. What about you, Julio, or Leticia? Feel free to share your perspective.
Leticia, please.
Okay, well, it's a very complex problem, so all the parts have, a different role to play. I totally agree. Governments need to establish policies and to make laws, and then, the law enforcement, because sometimes we have lots of laws, but nobody respects the law. So it's the same as not having them. So that's, very important, at least in Mexico. Something else, yes, is the consumers. We have, to learn how to be more conscious of what we consume. That's part of teaching or promoting the reuse of packaging. Finally, if it's something that you cannot reuse, then separating. In Mexico, the government takes care of all these materials, but sometimes if they are not separated, then it's very, very complicated to recycle. And finally, of course, if there's anyone trying to recycle, we would like to work with them to develop a specific solution. The idea is to avoid that these materials end up in the landfills. All the materials have an intrinsic value and they can be used for something else. So yes, that's what we would like to communicate. We will help anyone who wants to recycle materials post-industrial or post-consumer, which is more complicated, but anyway, there is a way to recycle materials. Also networking, it's been, as I mentioned, a really interesting and enriching experience, to work with other startups that are also trying to contribute in these complex problems. So maybe working together to develop some specific solutions would be, also useful in the future.
Thank you very much.
I think that this past 18 months of the pandemic have been very challenging for all of us, but also they have changed many things and some for good. And one of them is that the shortage of many commodities forced many companies to look for innovative solutions, whether it's for trying to reuse things or trying, in our case, to try these recycled materials that were considered traditional to be cheap and low quality. And I think that this is a new way of doing business that is here to stay for the long run. I always say that this is like reggaeton music. It doesn't matter if you like it or not, but it's not going to go away. It's here it's here to stay. So because whether it's from regulations, from corporate commitments, or from consumer demands, or from all of them, this new way of doing business and this new way of approaching new solutions can only grow. I think we're in the right business, and all of us in this panel, this is a new industry which it's being built as we speak. So I think that governments, companies, the consumers, and all of us together are experiencing a new way of doing business that is the pandemic proved that is correct and it works.
Oh, that's very, very wise words. Thanks for that, Julio. And with that, we will close our third panel for today. I would like to thank you very, very much, guys, for investing your time to be with us today with our audience. Congratulations for your journeys as founders. It's very good to know that smart people like you were investing your time and your brain to provide solutions for a better world. And thank you very much for your participation during the program. I mean, that was a very, very hard selection process. It's not an easy program, but we were able to dedicate time. And then after 3 months of program, I can say that it's easy to see the maturity that you guys are growing, even more than you had in the beginning. So thank you very much again for being with us today.
No, and thanks to you on behalf of Atando Cabos. Thank you very much to Plug and Play for inviting us, and we have been very, very happy to participate here and to know all of these great guys also.
Thanks, Julio. Thank you very much, guys. Well, with that, we are closing our third panel for today. We are able to know very, very interesting solutions, very, very smart entrepreneurs. And with that, the session is over. And now I'm handing over to Rebecca. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for this amazing panel. Don't forget to select the startups you would like to get connected with. Hi everyone, this was the last panel of the Expo and I would like to thank you all for joining our event today. Hopefully you got inspired from the amazing startups who joined our program and took the opportunity to show your interest to get engaged with them. In the next few days, we will make the introduction emails between you and the startups. On behalf of Plug and Play, I would like to congratulate all the startups who joined the program. It was amazing to see what you accomplished during this journey. I am really excited to see all the impactful things you're going to do in the future. For the audience, I would like to invite you to know Plug and Play and how can we work together to build a more sustainable future with the power of innovation and collaboration. Thank you all for joining and having an amazing week.